The Admiral Graf Spee was a German Panzerschiff, pocket battleship, one of 3 Deutschland-class warships built in the 1930s as part of Germany's strategy to create powerful yet treaty-compliant naval units. Named after Admiral Maximilian von Spee, a German naval officer who perished at the Battle of the Falklands in 1914, the ship was launched in 1934 and commissioned into the Kriegsmarine in 1936. The Graf Spee was designed as a commerce raider, intended to disrupt Allied merchant shipping while evading or outgunning pursuing warships. Unlike traditional battleships, which prioritized heavy armor and firepower, the Graf Spee emphasized speed and striking power. It was armed with 6 283mm, 11-inch, SKC/28 guns in 2 triple turrets, giving it firepower superior to most contemporary cruisers. Additionally, it carried 8 150mm, 5.9-inch, secondary guns, 6 105mm anti-aircraft guns, and 8 torpedo tubes. Despite its formidable armament, it had relatively thin armor, with a maximum belt thickness of 100mm and deck protection of 45mm. Its main advantage was its advanced diesel propulsion system, which provided a top speed of 28 knots and an exceptional operational range of 19,000 kilometers, 10,000 nautical miles, making it ideal for long-duration missions far from German bases. At the onset of World War II in September 1939, the Graf Spee was deployed in the South Atlantic under the command of Captain Hans Langsdorff, a highly respected and principled officer. His orders were to target British and Allied merchant vessels, disrupting vital supply lines while avoiding direct confrontation with enemy capital ships. Over the next 3 months, the Graf Spee successfully sank or captured 9 merchant ships, totaling over 50,000 tons of shipping. Langsdorff conducted his operations with chivalry, ensuring that the crews of the captured vessels were treated humanely and placed in lifeboats or transferred to neutral ships before their vessels were scuttled. He strictly adhered to the laws of war, avoiding unnecessary casualties and refraining from attacking hospital ships or neutral vessels. However, his activities soon drew the attention of the Royal Navy, which dispatched several hunting groups to track him down. On December 13, 1939, the Graf Spee encountered a British squadron off the coast of Uruguay near the River Plate, consisting of the heavy cruiser HMS Exeter, armed with 6 8-inch guns, and the light cruisers HMS Ajax and HMNZS Achilles, each equipped with 8 6-inch guns. Although outnumbered, Langsdorff decided to engage the enemy rather than attempt to flee. The ensuing battle, known as the Battle of the River Plate, was one of the earliest significant naval engagements of World War II. The Graf Spee concentrated its fire on the Exeter, scoring multiple hits that severely damaged the British cruiser, disabling 2 of its 3 turrets and forcing it to withdraw. However, the Graf Spee was also damaged by repeated shellfire from the Ajax and Achilles, sustaining critical hits to its fuel purification system and engine room. These damages, combined with the depletion of its ammunition, severely limited the ship's operational capability. With his ship in need of repairs, Langsdorff headed for Montevideo, the capital of neutral Uruguay, where he hoped to make temporary repairs and refuel. Upon arrival on December 14, he requested a 2-week stay, but under diplomatic pressure from Britain, Uruguayan authorities granted only 72 hours. Meanwhile, the British employed psychological warfare, spreading misinformation that a powerful fleet, including the aircraft carrier HMS Ark Royal and battlecruiser HMS Renown, was waiting outside Uruguayan waters, ready to intercept the Graf Spee if it attempted to leave port. In reality, only the damaged Ajax and Achilles remained, but Langsdorff, lacking reliable intelligence, believed that escape was impossible. Faced with a dire situation and unwilling to risk the lives of his crew in a hopeless battle, he made the fateful decision to scuttle the Graf Spee rather than let it fall into enemy hands. On December 17, 1939, the ship was taken out of the harbor, and explosive charges were set, detonating in a spectacular explosion that engulfed the vessel in flames before it sank into the shallow waters of the River Plate. Following the scuttling, Langsdorff and his crew were interned in Argentina. 3 days later, Langsdorff, devastated by the loss of his ship and feeling the weight of responsibility, took his own life in Buenos Aires. He wrapped himself in the German naval ensign and shot himself in a final act of loyalty to his men in service. His honorable conduct, both during the battle and in dealing with enemy sailors, earned him respect even among his adversaries. The destruction of the Graf Spee marked a significant early victory for the British and deprived Germany of one of its most effective commerce raiders. Today, the wreck of the Graf Spee remains partially submerged in the River Plate, with several artifacts, including its massive rangefinder and bronze eagle, recovered in recent years. The story of the Admiral Graf Spee and its dramatic end continues to be remembered as one of the most extraordinary naval episodes of the Second World War.